And so we have it. The Tampa Bay Lightning have finally been dethroned of the Stanley Cup after two consecutive wins. And now the new Stanley Cup champions, the Colorado Avalanche, long awaited for guys like Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, and a couple more guys we're going to mention after as we get into this episode. But congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche. And with that being said, guys, we have a giveaway, a Stanley Cup final giveaway in honor of the Colorado Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup. Or regardless, whoever would have won, we're still going to do a giveaway. Make sure to subscribe and to comment on this video to participate in our giveaway, and the winner will be given their jersey of choice. Um, so, for example, if you're a Montreal Canadiens fan or you want a Montreal Canadiens jersey, make sure to comment what jersey you guys want and make sure to subscribe to our podcast. We'll be repeating it once again at the end of this episode. But, guys, Cale Makar is the 2022 Conn Smythe Trophy, the modern day Bobby Orr. And what are your thoughts on Colorado Avalanche's run to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they eventually were crowned the Stanley Cup champions?
Well, I mean, the best team won the cup, and that's basically. And I know it sounds pretty crazy, but like, I know that me and Chris we predicted that Tampa was probably going to win in seven, and I know that Chris now Chris without a H actually now, or Pizzuto I
Well,
should say.
I'm
Well,
Christopher now.
that's it, Chris and
Yeah, I'm still
Christopher.
Chris. I
But
didn't change.
Chris predicted that Colorado was going to win in six, so I know he's super happy about that
Mystic Chris strikes again.
because he got it right. But I think look, Colorado, the best team won. I think that when you look at what the Colorado Avalanche did in this series, it was pretty impressive to see, and not just in this series, but I think in general too throughout the playoffs, they were fantastic in every single thing. And I think the biggest deciding game, I think for me, that really made this series what it was actually Game Four. When Colorado was up 3-1 in that series, I think at that point everybody kind of knew, okay, this series is pretty much done, right? And I didn't, nobody really believed that Tampa was going to win three in a row. But at the end of the day, you can't count Tampa out. And I think that they gave Colorado a good run for their money. That ending of the game tonight was absolutely fantastic. Landeskog with a great block shot. Kemper had to make some big saves to kind of keep them in it. But at the end of the day, Colorado, the best team won, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Arturi Lehkonen, who again ends up being Mr. Clutch.
Scores the
Scores.
winning goal.
That's it. Scores in big moments for his teams. He did it last year with the Canadiens to send them to the Stanley Cup final. He did it this year for Colorado to send them to the Stanley Cup final, and now he scores the winning goal to win them the Stanley Cup. So super happy for them.
Great
Happy for
trade
Cale
for
Makar.
Colorado and for the Montreal Canadian
That's it.
fans who claim that this is a bad deal for Montreal. No, it's not because Lehkonen deserves it, and the Habs got a good return regardless. This guy is Mr. Reliable. He's fantastic on the PK, and just because he couldn't get the goals going for a majority of his career with the Montreal Canadiens, he got her very red hot this year in Montreal, which propelled him to be moved to Colorado, and he did fantastic there. He's a perfect fit there, and I think they're going to find a way to re-sign him. He is an RFA at the end of the season. Now it's officially concluded, so he's officially an RFA. Whether they have, the opportunity to sign him, whether he's willing to take less money or maybe he wants to capitalize on this and ask for more money when he hits the market, this is a perfect time for Lehkonen to cash in. But congrats to him being Mr. Clutch again. And I don't know if you guys have the same perspective as I do, but I still want to give credit to Tampa Bay for
Oh
what
yeah,
they've
of
accomplished in the
course.
last 3 years. I still consider them a dynasty, in my opinion, because going to the Stanley Cup finals three times in a row in the modern day of hockey is impossible. It's really, really hard. And despite them losing, they were down, 3-1, and they won last game, and they were in it in this game as well. And they only lost 2-1. It wasn't a blowout game. Yes, they did lose horribly against Colorado in game two, but they woke up after they continued to play better after that point, and Colorado had the last laugh. Essentially, they were the better team, like Luca was saying, And Nathan McKinnon played a fantastic part, and also Cale Makar, of course, who is the first is one of the three only defensemen ever to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. Bobby Orr did it uh, in 1972. Give me a second here. I'm gonna pull it up.
1970 and
Victor Hedman
1970 and
also won.
1972, and Lidstrom did it in 2002. I have it right here.
Didn't
Yeah,
Victor Hedman also win the Conn Smythe?
No, he didn't.
no, it was Kucherov and Vasilevsky that won.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I had
yeah.
the tweet here before. Well, sorry.
I
Thanks,
have
Luca, for
I have it.
putting
It's
it out.
Bobby Orr 1970 and 1972, and then Nicholas Lidstrom 2002, and then
Yeah,
Cale Makar 2022.
Frank Saravelli
Yeah.
was the one that tweeted it. But yeah, I think Cale Makar is going to be one of the best
Uh,
defensemen ever, in my
sorry,
opinion.
sorry guys, but Victor Hedman did win in 2020.
Well, then Frank Saravelli's tweet is wrong.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Well, did he win or did he not win? That's the
I'm
question.
I think I'm certain. I'm certain he won. Let me do a quick.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
think.
Andrei Vasilevsky 2021, Victor Hedman 2020, and then Ryan O'Reilly in 2019. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
he's right. Yeah, he's right. So
you're right,
Saravelli
Chris.
fucked up.
Yeah,
Saravelli fucked up
he
his
did
tweet.
fuck up. Well, that's
Mystic Chris strikes again twice. Twice. Actually, three. Well, yeah, twice.
but I just want to take the opportunity to name all the players for the Stanley Cup that obviously contribute to the Stanley Cup win in Game 6. So
Oh,
you have,
and North. Never mind.
sorry.
No, no, just keep going. Never mind. Just keep going.
Okay. You have Darcy Kemper, you have Nathan McKinnon, you have Arturi Lekkinen, you have Josh Manson, you have Gabriel Landeskog, Bowen Byram, you have Valery Nichushkin, who honestly is going to have a crazy payday when he hits the market. He was fantastic in these playoffs. You have Mikko Rantanen, you have Jack Johnson, you have Nazem Kadri, who was dealing with injuries, and he was able to come back for the finals. You have Logan O'Connor. You have Darren Helm, who everyone thought retired. You have veteran Andrew Colliano as well,
Yeah.
who he's been in the league for a long time. You have Alex Newhook. You have Eric Johnson. You have JT Kempfer. You have Nico Sturm, who joined Colorado at the right before the deadline. Um, Cale Makar, Devin Taves, and obviously you have guys that were injured that were not there but did play during the playoffs and also the regular season, like Samuel Girard,
And
who
Andre
wasn't.
Burakovsky.
Yeah, that's another guy as well. Am I missing anyone else, or I named everybody?
But I want to say one quick thing. I feel really bad for Corey Perry. Like
I
I
was
feel
gonna say that
really,
too. Poor
I
guy, man.
I feel
Three
so bad
times.
for Corey Perry, dude. Like you go to 3 Stanley Cup finals with Dallas, with Montreal, and then with Tampa, and to lose 3 straight finals, man, that's gotta hurt. Like that's really gotta hurt.
That's like Marion Hossa. Remember when he was with Penguins, then
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
then
but
just
he
lose
lose
to
got it
three straight.
Detroit,
done.
then
He
and
got
then
it done.
hey, got it done finally in Chicago. But I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
still, it's
Perry's
sad.
got a cup. Perry's got a cup with Anaheim, right? But it would have been
Yeah,
nice
he's
to
Well,
got
get.
one
here's a
chip.
picture, guys, just for clarification.
Yeah, that's gotta
But
suck.
just
And Pat Maroon too lost his chance to winning 4 in a row.
Yeah, but Pat
Yeah.
Maroon, I think he's happy, man. The guy's already a legend. But I wanted to just clarify on the tweet that we talked about before. Chris, you had mentioned that Hedman had won the Conn Smythe. You were right. The only thing is that he didn't win the Norris that year. And Frank Saravelli's tweet is that Cale Makar is one of 3
Uh,
defensemen to win the Norris and the Conn Smythe in the same season.
Ah,
So
okay. Okay. That makes more
Bobby
sense.
Orr, Bobby Orr did it twice,
you always
and
gotta read the fine print.
we always got to, yeah, we always got to make sure. But no, it's good. I think, look, Colorado had a fantastic series. I think, look, like you said, you gave credit to Tampa before, Christopher, and I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like what Tampa has done over the last 3 years, winning 2 Stanley Cups and going to the Stanley Cup final this year as well, eliminating teams like the Rangers, like the Leafs, like Florida, and then coming up to a 6-game series against Colorado, like that's impressive, man. And to do it with a core that wasn't as good as the one that was there last year, and to come so close the way they did, like it's impressive. And I think you have to give credit where credit is due. People can turn around and hate on Tampa for being over the cap and saying all these things, but in the end, they went based on the rules that they were given. And I think that Tampa, again, they're a dynasty team. You got to give them a ton of credit. And they gave Colorado a hard fought series. Apart from that 7-0 loss that happened in Game 2, this series was really close. And it's like I think every single game except for Game 3 and Game 2 was 1-goal games.
Well,
And
well,
so
guys, like you saw,
it's
let's
crazy.
be honest here. You saw guys like Steven Stamkos throwing himself, blocking shots.
Yeah.
Like who would have thought? Like they were all in. They were
Well,
dialed in.
Landeskog too today, man. Landeskog throwing himself.
Landeskog was another guy. Guys that you wouldn't really, you know, think that would throw the body. Guys that are more contributing to, putting up, points in terms of assists and goals. They're doing, the things that people don't really pay attention to most of the time, which is blocking shots, taking hits, giving hits, the forechecking as well. It's really important to really focus on that top part of the game as well. That's what leads
And
to like the third line and the fourth line being so successful in you know the playoffs essentially. And the thing that I would say that kind of lacked in terms of Tampa Bay losing to Colorado is that Vasilevsky, that blowout game, should have never happened. I think that's when I knew that Colorado was going to take the series.
Let me
yeah.
let me spark up a little debate here. Do you think Colorado still wins if Braden Point was there? I know some people are gonna bring that up. So
Well, I mean, look, here's my thing, okay? I think that we're looking at a team that we're looking at teams that had injuries. I mean, look, if you noticed, Burakovsky didn't play tonight. Sam Girard wasn't in this series. Nazem Kadri missed the first couple of games of the series as well. I think injuries is part of hockey, and I think that no matter what, whether you look at your team or you don't look at your team, you can say, "Oh, if Braden Point's there, does Tampa win this game?" Or I think you can't look at that, and I think the reason why is because in the end, every team went through injuries, every team battled through it, and some guys dealt with it more than others. And I think, look, for Tampa, there's really no excuse. You won 2 cups in the last 3 years, like that's impressive in itself. You went to a Stanley Cup final; they have nothing to be ashamed of at all. Could they have won? Could they have won the game? Absolutely. Could Colorado have, would it have been a different situation if Braden Point was there? Maybe, but it's not a question of like, oh, Braden Point wasn't there, Tampa lost. I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to give credit to Colorado, and Darcy Kemper was fantastic, and he played great.
And that
He
was
was
a
good in the
guy,
series, and so you got to give
yeah,
him credit.
and that was a guy that
Oh boy,
we had a lot of questions about.
the
Can
comments are
Darcy
salty.
Kemper play at the same level as Andrei Vasilevsky? And and I think he did a phenomenal job. He did what he had to do. But then again, the defense in front of him and the offense in front of him, you know, was fantastic and ultimately led to the Stanley Cup winning, team
Let's
in the
let's
Colorado Avalanche.
let's
And
address
yes.
some of the comments.
And in terms of this comment, okay, let's be honest here. There's a lot of calls that were not called for Tampa, and there was a lot of calls that were not called for Colorado. It went both ways. There was a lot of things that the refs
Yeah,
really turned a blind eye
I
on
agree.
and that, should have been called. But I guess because it's the finals, because it's the playoffs, they said whatever happens, let it happen. And whoever comes out on top comes out on top.
uh,
And I think that's ultimately what the refs came to a conclusion on. I don't know if you guys agree on that
yeah,
or
I'm gonna
not.
reply to this comment with, "Are you kidding me? Like,
No,
are
but
you
but
kidding me?"
you know what? You know what
That was
though? I
a
understand. I
honestly,
understand
if
that.
you go take a look at that replay, I think Luca, you pointed it out to the other day.
Oh yeah, both
Yeah,
teams
both
had,
teams had too many men on the
yeah.
ice on that one. So you know,
And I think you know what? Look, there's always going to be like Christopher mentioned. There's always going to be games where calls aren't going to go your way, and there was bad calls called on both sides throughout the whole series. I think that we're at an era now where it's like, oh, when a team loses, we're going to try to find every excuse to to blame and be like, oh, it's unfair. But in the end, look, too many men call, not too many men call. It happens, and whether you like it or not, it's part of the game. Should the officiating be better? Yes. Should there be a situation? We've talked about how officiating has been an issue in the NHL for a long time. but it's part of hockey. It's part of the way it is. And I mean, look, you can get angry at the goal tonight and say, "Oh, the second goal was too many men." You can argue and get mad and say Kadri's goal was too many men. In the end, hockey's the way it is, and that's the way it was called. And unfortunately, it is the way it is. But it makes it more exciting and it makes it more entertaining. And the NHL is not going to try to find a way to fix it. So we have to live with the calls that are being made on the ice. But I gotta say this: Tampa got away with a lot, not only in this series but also in the playoffs this year as well. So they can't really complain, and
But
neither can
who
Colorado
doesn't?
fans, to
I
be
think
honest.
like every single team gets away with at
That's it.
least something. And but this is the NHL that needs to take a look into this, right? In terms of officiating, they can't let this be a problem. I think it's a continuous problem now that fans are pointing out, analysts are pointing out that are and even sports commentators as they're
Players.
that
Yeah.
they're players as well. Sports commentators
Well,
while they're they're like talking about the game as it's happening live. You know, but like Colorado, they sweep Nashville, they win 7-2, 2-1, 7-3, 5-3, easy 4 straight wins. Then they move on to St. Louis. They win in six, 3-2, 4-1 loss, 5-2 win, 6-3 win, 5-4 loss, then 3-2 win. Then they sweep Edmonton, 8-6 crazy game, 4-0, 4-2, then 6-5. Then they go on to the back-to-back reigning champions, Tampa Bay Lightning, and you have Tampa in six. They win 4-3, 7-0. They lose 6-2. They win 3-2. They lose 3-2. And then tonight they win 2-1.
I'm sorry, I
That's so
can't
I'm,
control
funny,
my
guys.
laughter, bro. I
I'm
can't
laughing
control my
because
laughter.
the comment is actually pretty funny.
Nah,
Should
you
we even
gotta.
be should we even be putting that online, or are we gonna get like
Nah. But you know what, man?
demonetized?
Look. You know what, man? I gotta say something to Brian the goalie. For thank you for the comment, by the way. But look, in the end, it's all fun and games. I mean, look, everyone's allowed to their own opinion. I mean, I know. I think Chris, you since you made the comment, you maybe want to address it, or I don't know if
I
you
just
want to
said,
say
are
it.
you kidding me?
But I mean, look. In the end, look.
It's the Kucherov
Hockey
way.
hockey is the way it is, and I mean, look, Tampa fans are going to be upset, and I understand that, rightfully so. It's not, it sucks to lose in the Stanley Cup final. Trust me, as Habs fans, we know how it feels. We went through
Yeah,
it last
listen,
year,
we haven't won in
but
30 years. So,
so and you guys won two cups in 3 years, so I
and
think
imagine the Maple Leafs fans, or those guys must,
are
or
we trying
Arizona, or Arizona.
are we trying to pick a fight tonight?
Oh
But
yeah, we're poking all
Look,
the bears.
obviously Tampa Bay fans are upset. They wanted to go three in a row. But come on, guys. You guys won two back to back. It's time for a new champion. And the fact that you guys
no,
went to the finals for a third consecutive year, you guys should be proud regardless. That's all I have to say about that. But congrats to the Colorado Avalanche for what they've accomplished. They haven't won a Stanley Cup since 2001, if I'm not mistaken, when, they had greats like Joe Sakic, um, Patrick Roy, and, all, the whole shebang. You guys know what I'm talking
Avalanche, man.
about. I'm not going to go rant on and on about
And
those
and
guys.
I like this comment too from Whedon Wrestling. He says, "Unless you're taking a guy's head off trying to dislodge his knee, the ref should let them play in the playoffs." I agree. I mean, look, playoff hockey is what it is. We know that going into the playoffs, like that's what they're gonna call. They're gonna call like the blatantly obvious ones. Yes, there was some stupid calls too on both sides. Let's be honest here, but for the most part, let them play, man. Put the whistles away if you have to. Yes, you call penalties when there's penalties. Yeah, but in the end, like hockey is more fun when it's two teams going at it against each other and there's controversy. When it's controversy, it's fun and it's entertaining and makes more people watch. So, in the end, should the game have been called fairly? Yeah, I think it has been for the most part. But you know what? Like, put your whistles away when you need to. In the third period, there was no penalties for either team, which I think made it more entertaining. We saw what Tampa was able to do in the last 5 minutes, but they also didn't show up. They had 4 shots the entire third period. Like, you're not winning a hockey game like that. That's just unfortunate. That's the cold hard reality of it too.
If I'm not mistaken, Nathan McKinnon was asked, what's going on? Why couldn't you guys close out our last game? And he said, I think we're feeling a little bit nervous, but we're not going to repeat that mistake a second time. And guess what? He was a man of his word. They didn't repeat that mistake a second time, and they closed it off. They won. They won the Stanley Cup in 6 games. I said Tampa in 7. I think Chris said Colorado in
In
six,
six.
so
Yeah.
he was exactly like spot on. And this is a picture of a Turi Lekkinen with a Stanley Cup. It's a
What a
beautiful,
beauty.
beautiful picture. Sorry for my fingernails. Or
Um,
my
well, anyways, if you guys, I don't know anyone who's from Montreal watching this. If you guys are familiar with our Premier of Quebec, he just tweeted out "Les ex-Nordiques gagnent la Coupe Stanley." So just to put that out there, that yes, the old Quebec Nordiques did win the Stanley Cup, but it's actually the Colorado Avalanche, not the Quebec
I would
Nordiques.
like to say something from Nazem Kadri, who
Oh
has the
yeah,
last laugh, especially Toronto Maple Leaf fans that have been criticizing him for years, especially in the playoffs for saying accusing him that he cost in the playoffs. Nazem Kadri states after they won the Stanley Cup, everyone that thought I was a liability in the playoffs can kiss my ass.
yeah.
Beautiful.
And good for him.
But you
He has
know
a
what,
Stanley
man?
Cup. Toronto doesn't. So
Which you know what, man? I gotta give credit where credit's due, man. We talk about it. We talk about Nazem Kadri, we talk about Burakovsky. I wanna talk about one player in particular, Valerie Nichushkin, man. What a series this guy had. The
fantastic.
goals that he
Fantastic.
would score, man. I was at Chris's house on Saturday or Friday, sorry, and we were watching the game. And Nichushkin, man, scored both goals, and they were, yeah, in front of the net, probably the dirtiest goals you'll ever see. But the guy was there, and he was putting the puck in the net. He was impressive all series. He was impressive all playoffs, and I think that he's gonna get paid this summer, man. This guy's gonna get a shit ton of money, and like whichever team gets him, man, like we'll see. But that's gonna be interesting to see what happens for sure. Everyone's happy, good. I think in the end, like I said before, and I'll say it again, the team that won the cup was the team that deserved to win the cup. Right? They were the best team in the league all season long. They played the best. Yes, okay, maybe their path was easier than most people would have thought it to be. They swept the Oilers. They played Nashville. They didn't really have to face that much competition, but it was still impressive. And you know what? Anyone who doubted Darcy Kemper going into these playoffs, I think if you watch these playoffs, you know that Darcy Kemper is
That's
capable of
another
doing
guy
it.
who's a UFA
So,
that's gonna make a lot of bank if he decides to hit the
well,
market.
teams are going to be in on him, and we'll see what Colorado does. But they have
And
two goaltenders there that are fantastic. So.
look, Spitting Chiclet said another Leafs trade resulting in a cup win. Nazem Kadri. Um,
Oh
this is a
boy.
beautiful picture of Andrew Colliano that I think I would like to share with you guys because he's very deserving. A guy, a veteran that's been in the NHL for I would say about 15 years already. So something to that,
There's
fifth. So I mean, this is a beautiful picture of him as well.
there's some nice
That's a guy that I
Lebanon ones
see
too.
retiring. Honestly, obviously he's not the most impactful player, but a guy that I think he had a fantastic career in the NHL. So I just want to also Darren Helm as well. Played a long time with Detroit Red Wings. People even thought that guy would retired when he scored a goal against. I think it was St. Louis or Edmonton. People were commenting, "Oh my God, Darren Helm still plays hockey!" Like, you know, uh,
Question for you guys: Do you think that like we'll see Colorado back here next year, or you think that it was a
no,
one and done?
it's a one and done.
You think so?
Colorado
Wow.
will be very competitive, but they
Yeah,
have guys like
they're gonna lose a lot of players that are
They have
impactful on this
they have
team.
Burakovsky that's hitting the market, another guy who was fantastic in these playoffs. You have Nichushkin, who was fantastic. He's hitting them. He's a UFA. Nazem Kadri, he's a UFA. Darcy Kemper, he's a UFA. So how can you possibly keep all these guys after winning the Stanley
Yeah,
Cup and after all these guys
Mason too.
contributed to their Stanley Cup win? They all had fantastic seasons and playoff runs as well. So I mean, look, I
And
mean, they're
Nathan
gonna lose
McKinnon
some
has to
guys.
get paid next year too. They're gonna have to
Nathan
Yeah,
pay
too.
McKinnon. But
and you have Arturi Lekkinen, RFA as well.
I just want to say one last thing before I think we end it off here. Um,
I mean, there's so many
I,
people. I mean, why?
I know
Let's
it's
keep it
it's it's
going.
kind of overwhelming, but you know
It's
what? Like,
nuts.
but you know what? Like, I gotta say it, and I think Eric Engels had tweeted it out too, and a few other reporters. This was the best playoffs I think we've seen in a long time, just in terms of
Yes, I agree.
matchups. I think in terms of matchups, I think in terms of the games that were being played, the competitiveness of the teams, even like range, like I was sitting there watching like Calgary versus Dallas, like teams that you never really thought that you'd be looking at. You ended up watching. I think it's really fun, especially if you're a hockey fan and you're a neutral and your team's not in the playoffs. it for me, I found it really entertaining. Like every game was close games. They were fun to watch. They were entertaining, and that's all you can really ask for. And I think that this is one of the best that we've ever seen. So
I
hopefully
would
the
also
playoffs
like to
like
add
this
that this is the
continue.
most entertaining finals we've seen in a
Yes.
while too. You had Montreal who lost in 5 games. You had Dallas who lost in 5 games. You know, prior to that, I don't remember how many games St. Louis won in 2019 against Boston. If I'm mistaken, it was 5 or 6 games. I think the last time I was really excited for a finals was probably Vancouver versus Boston that went to 7 games, and I mean that's
I
the
agree.
last time I would say that there was a huge impact in terms of a Stanley Cup final, and where two teams went head to head and they were battling out. Yes, it ended in 6 games, but you had the reigning back-to-back champions versus the best team in the league this season, a team with a core that's been trying to win the Stanley Cup for the last couple of years with McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog. Obviously Taves and Makar came a little bit after that, but you know, the big three, finally get the ring. They finally get their Stanley Cup. They bring the Stanley Cup back to Colorado in since 2001. This is a fantastic team. Built by Joe Sakic, who was the last Colorado Avalanche, still part of the organization, if I'm mistaken, to win the Stanley Cup, but this time as a general manager, not as a player.
Yeah.
Like McKinnon, 29 points, Rantanen, 25, McKinnon, 22. Sorry, I said Makar. Makar, 29 points, Rantanen, 25, McKinnon, 22, Landeskog, 22, the Chuskin, 15, Kadri, 15, Taves, 15, Lehkonen, 14, Kempfer, 8, and then, the list goes down. But, fantastic all around, man, I have to
Guys,
say. And they're well
guys, let's
deserving in the Stanley Cup, and no one can take that away from them.
let's not forget Jack Johnson is a Stanley Cup champion, guys.
And I don't know if Eric Johnson is his brother or his cousin,
No,
but
I don't know if they're related. Actually, I don't
I
think so.
think they
I'm
are
actually.
related.
Let me search it up. I have it here, so I'll search it up. Give me like 2 seconds. But
I love this. I love this comment in the comic section. Comment section. If Perry joins the Avs, they'll lose next year in the finals.
I don't think so. I don't think they're related. It doesn't seem like it. Eric Johnson and Jack Johnson. Oops. I don't think so.
Man,
I
the
don't know.
comment sections are really salty.
It
Well,
doesn't
most
seem.
of
It
them.
doesn't. I don't think they're related. Yeah, they're not related. I don't think.
They're not related.
No, they're just two. They're just two people that end up having the same last name. I believe. I
It
could be
would have
wrong
been
on that, but it doesn't say anything on the internet, so I don't know.
it would have been fun. But should we
I
end it
would-
now, guys? Or
Yeah, I mean, mention the giveaway again for the new people
Giveaway.
that.
okay, guys. So, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, because it's the Stanley Cup Finals and now it has concluded, a big thank you for everyone that supported us in terms of our matchup videos, and from the start as well of the podcast we started back in August. We just wanted to say that this we have finally concluded our first season. Us three together, we worked very hard,
It's an
and our
accomplishment.
Yes,
yes,
sir.
so we wanted to show our appreciation, and we've wanted to do a final giveaway to conclude the season. So make sure to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to comment in our comment section your favorite team, and according to that team, we'll get you a jersey of your choice. The winner will get that jersey, and we've wanted to say a big thank you once again for helping us reach many small goals but very effective goals. And the final goal that we have in mind until we could finally move on to the next level is reaching 1,000 subscribers, which would be
Yeah.
fantastic for us to do before the start of the next season, the 2022-2023 season. We're going to be at the draft this year, the 2022 NHL draft in Montreal, because we are from there. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity. So we'd love to catch that, obviously. Make sure to, write in the comment section if you want us to go live at the arena, or you want us to post shorts, or you want us to make a video, showcasing our whole experience from beginning to end. Make sure to let us know about that. But thanks once again, guys. and we'll see you on the next episode. And congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche and Cale Makar for winning the Stanley Cup and the Conn Smythe Trophy.